Ladies and gents, welcome back once again. All things covered. Yours truly, Patrick Peterson, Bryant McFadden. Another great show for you guys to enjoy, talk about, laugh about. We have everything for you guys right now. Our guest, this is a big time show because we have a big time guest, man. 2023 Maxwell Award winner, AP Comeback Player of the Year 2022, first team All American 2023, second team two-time second team All Pac-12 2022, 2023. Should have been first team, but of course, that's not me to debate about, just my personal opinion. Uh, Currently, most recently, eighth overall selected player in the 2024 NFL draft. No other than the great Michael Penix Jr. joining us here. All things covered.
Yeah, money, 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 money. Ain't that funny? I got haters. Yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Money, 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 money. Ain't that funny? I got haters. Yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Riding around the city, plastic cup of C-Rock. Bigger and I'm blacker. I am on that Chris Rock.
Mike, how you doing? How you feeling?
What's good, man? I'm good. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh, no question, man. No question. We've been trying to get this done. We finally here. Of course, it's a lot going on with your career, with everything involving the NFL. And usually, when we get guests on, we love to go back in time to talk about the beginning. But Mike, we felt like it was only right to talk about the here and now, right? And the draft happened a few weeks ago. The dust is starting to settle down just a little bit since the Falcons picked you at 8 in the first round. But how surprised were you when when the Falcons drafted you in the first round?
Man, I won't say I was too much surprised. In my mind, I kind of felt like I was going somewhere else. Just based on how circumstances was, and some things that I said. But man, I was blessed. I knew I would be going in the top 15 range. Based on all the information I was getting. But man, I was excited for it.
Man, that's awesome, man. We also know that you had opportunity to visit other teams. How was the fan base welcoming you when you had the opportunity to visit those teams that you throughout your pre-draft process?
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of low key with it. I wasn't really like posting where I was and stuff like that.
Okay.
And whenever post was happening, I really wasn't on social media, so I really couldn't see or get a feel for how the fans were in that area. So I really don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, we all have something in common that we all had the opportunity to go through the draft process. But how was it for you? And did they give you any indications on what will your role be coming into your rookie season?
Yeah, no, it's not like, to me, like it really wasn't. It was never about that, And I feel like they knew that was the type of player I am. I'm about the team, and for me, I'm just gonna come and make an impact. Find my way to impact the team any way I can. Whether that's playing as soon as I get there, or sitting behind Kurt, and learning and adapting, to the next level, so that whenever my time do come, I'll be ready. So for me, I'm just gonna go in and prepare every day like I'm the starter. Because you expect nothing less, because you never know when your time and your number will be called. So.
No question. Good mindset to have when you talk about not knowing exactly what's going to happen. Hey, Mike, take us through the personal workout you had with Atlanta. They traveled out to the Northwest, pretty much the who's of who within the organization, I think, except the owner, Arthur Blank, traveled out to see you. But take us through that process, and with all of the key, decision makers when it comes to personnel being there, was that the first indicator for you, like, yo, they just spent a lot of money on Kirk Cousins, but they sent everybody out here to watch me throw, and to do so in not the best ideal throwing conditions for a quarterback? What was your mindset knowing they were coming out there to personally see you? And then, of course, how did you feel after that personal workout?
Man, for me, it was always about work, so it didn't matter, when they came. It didn't matter if I went there, where we threw at, no matter what the conditions were, I was going to put in the work. I was going to show me as, myself as a person and a player, and for them, it was a little workout, and I feel like it went good. And obviously, like you just mentioned, the weather, it was windy, it was cold, it was crazy, but I was still able to, make good throws and stuff like that, and I feel like that opened their eyes up as well, So, man, I feel like it went real good. I know I made a lot of big time throws in that workout, that had them, intrigued, I'll say, based on, the conditions and the ball placement and stuff like that. With some of the throws I had to make. But man, it was good. It was a great workout. I knew that during that workout I was like, this is a group of coaches I can get along with. I feel like it was never a dull moment in that workout either. They all got great personalities and they let it be shown. So I'm glad to be able to work with them.
Hey, Mike, do you think that personal workout that you was able to put forth for the organization was kind of like the final checkbox they needed to see from you that led them to drafting you in the first round? Do you think that was the final checkbox?
I mean, I don't know. I remember going into the workout and coach was like, man, I already know what you're about. I know how you throw the ball. We just wanted to see it in person. Just take that trip. And just show their interest in me. I feel like, but by far it wasn't my best throwing day either. Like,
Oh, wow.
I mean, it wasn't. It actually wasn't my best throwing day. But I made a lot of really great throws and based on the conditions, within it. So I feel like that's what kind of showed them, that what I feel like what they needed to see, in order for them to want to make that pick at number 8. So it was a good experience though.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good, man. We also have another thing that we share in common that you're going to be teammates with Kurt. I had the opportunity to be teammate with Kurt and also play against him throughout my NFL career. But have Kurt reached out to you? Have you guys had any communication? Because the Kurt that I know and had an opportunity to spend 2 years with in Minnesota is a great teammate. He's a guy that want to see that next guy succeed. So have you guys had any conversations?
Yeah, I mean, he texted me the same night of the draft. Just said congrats and stuff like that. But that's about it so far.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how do you foresee that relationship, transitioning for you your rookie year? When you look at your role, when you look at his role playing the same position, how do you see that relationship, panning out?
Yeah, man. I know me. I'm a guy that want to see everybody be great as well. So for me, I'm gonna be in this corner. We're on the same team. And I'll hope the same from him. Obviously, I don't feel like he's entitled to mentor me in a way or like bring me along. But for me, it's about me. Just taking that step and watching what he do. Learning. How he prepare, how he go about it, because obviously he's been doing it at a high level and he's been doing it for a long time, so he must be doing something right. So, I want to just find ways that I can, continue to better my game and, find my way in the league. So, that's the mindset I'm going into it with. So,
man, that's awesome. I know Max said we're going to talk about the present, and this might be one of the things you don't want to talk about, but I got to go back to the national championship because that was honestly my second time watching you play, and I was very, very impressed. But I just want to get your input on what was the experience like, because obviously we know Washington haven't been there in God knows how long. But what was the experience like with you guys being the underdog and you being pretty much the catapult of getting Washington to the big dance? Like, what was that experience like?
I mean, it was great. I feel like, like you said, us being underdog, not only in that game, but we was the underdog 6 games before that. Like,
take the Pac-12 championship game. Y'all were like a 9-point underdog.
Yeah, man. So
yeah, I remember that. I took one, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so it was like it was the last 5 or 6 games was the underdog. So it was like, man, that we always wanted it like that. We knew what we had in our locker room, and we knew that, no matter what anybody else said on the outside, we had to come out and prove it, and that's what we was able to do each and every week, but to be able to play in that game, it was an amazing experience. That's something that, every college player dream about. And that's something that I said at the beginning of the season. I said that they asked me what's my goals for the season. I said win a national championship. A lot of people looked at us crazy, and looked at me crazy, and it was like, he just talking, but to be able to make it there, obviously we fell one short, but nobody expected us to be there in general. So it's like, for us to be able to achieve that, it was a blessing, but obviously, as a competitor, we always want to win. So.
And speaking of underdog, throughout the entire draft process, most experts, draft analysts, they had you ranked at best the 4th quarterback going into the draft. That wasn't my ranking, but most people had you at best the fourth guy. What type of motivational factor was that for you? And at what point throughout the draft, leading up to the draft, did you come to the realization that you would be drafting higher than most people thought you would go? What most people expected.
Yeah, man. For me, I was really staying off of the social media, staying off of looking at all the mock draft stuff, because I remember just seeing one of them, and they were saying like some crazy stuff, and I remember like knowing I got information, in my other ear, right information,
Yeah.
that coming from real sources, and knowing where I was gonna go on the draft and seeing where other people was putting me, I was, like I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, these people, they don't get to pick, and they really don't know, they just making judgments off of, I don't know, whatever they feel, so it's like, for me, I wasn't really focused on that, I was just focused on just trying to get better, throughout the whole process, and continue to put in work. I was working the whole process, so I ain't really had time to be, just sitting at the TV, looking at that stuff. So, yeah, man, I was just working. So.
What was the development for you, from back being a starting quarterback in Indiana, more than a serviceable guy, but becoming a household name at Washington?
Yeah, man, for me, man, it was just the work, just continue to keep going, pushing through all the things that I was going through, at that time, physically and mentally, and, always having that trust in God, to be able to get to this point, I always saw myself at this point since a little kid, and I knew that nothing was going to stop me or derail me from, achieving all the things I was able to achieve, but I feel like a lot of the big difference, I would say from my time in Indiana and whenever I got to Washington was the biggest thing was probably just off season. And I ain't have no off seasons since I first got to college, so like each and every year I was rehabbing. The first time I touched the field was fall camp, and I still wasn't even full speed then. It was like first game. That's really my first time going full speed each and every year, and it was always like that. So whenever I got to Washington, I was able to have those 2 seasons, stuff like that. A lot of people, they say the protection wise, like I had a good O-line, good receivers, and all that, but obviously all that stuff contributed to it as well, but like you said, you mentioned the 2020 season, and like, man, nothing against, the guys that I had before, because those, like all those guys, I still talk to some of them, in group chats, stuff like that, but I'll be on the game with one of my homeboys, and there's some other guys from like Rutgers and and a lot of other different Big Ten teams. I'll be playing with, and they be like, man, y'all had it rough at the offensive line position. So it's like, but we still found a way to get it done. In 2020, 2019, we still found a way to win games, big time football games. But I feel like that's be credits to just the team that we had. Just continue to keep our head down and, not really worry about, what the outside saying and stuff like that, but just going out there and finding ways to win. And I feel like that's how it was at Washington. We found ways to win, even whenever people counted us out, So, man, I've been on both sides of it, but to be able to come out, and be where I'm at today, all I can say is I'm blessed.
Mike, we heard that you like to get in the studio a little bit. Is that true?
Man, I'll be playing around. I don't be doing that too much.
What is it about? I remember like when I around like my 5th year in the league, so that's around 2015. A lot of the ball players wanted to start rapping. So like, what got you intrigued into like freestyling or trying to lay bars down? Because obviously, as a community, we love music. A lot of great rappers in our community. Speaking of the African American community, but what gravitated you to laying bars down?
Man, I always like music. I feel like that was the biggest thing. Just always liking music. I always listen to music. Any chance I get, I have music playing. But I feel like it comes from that, and also you just be bored sometimes. If you got all your studying done, you ain't really got nothing else to do. And you just be listening to music, and I hear a beat or something off a song, and I go look up the instrumental on the beat, and I just start rapping, like just for fun, just stuff to do, but It don't be too serious.
So you got
So
something for us right now?
I'm gonna say not. So Mac, I was gonna ask him that. Not only do we have something for us right now, I'm gonna give you a topic. You got an Atlanta Falcon hoodie on right now.
Are you trying to make it
Atlanta
rain?
Falcon. Give us something real quick for the topic is Atlanta Falcon.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. We gotta do it like away from the
Okay,
recording.
okay. All right. We can put you on the spot. I
Yeah.
got one for you in regards to the quarterback situation in Atlanta. Personally, for you, what would be the ideal situation for you? You know what I mean? For the quarterback room in Atlanta, when you talk about having, as Mike Tomlin used to tell us in Pittsburgh, we got two dogs and one bone.
Yep.
Right? We got two dogs, one of them gonna get the bone, meaning one gonna play. But what would be the ideal situation for you with this quarterback room, knowing that Kirk Cousins is already there during your rookie year?
Yeah, for me, man, it's just learning. Learning as much as I can. If Kurt ended up being the guy. I just want to be able to, just try to find ways to, better my game. Find ways to, I feel like it's a big transition from college to the NFL. So it's like,
Yes. Mhm.
it's different things that you gotta, adapt to and become accustomed to, and that's not just talking about on the field, but off the field stuff too. Like at that time, make sure I'm take care of nutrition, take care of my body in ways that I probably didn't do before. Even if I felt like I was doing it at a high level, in college, it's a whole nother level, and you got money in your pockets too, so I can buy some of the treatments that I need. Spend money on that stuff. Not worry
Mhm.
about just doing it at the training room where you got a certain amount of things. But I can go get the best masseuse. You can go get the best, nutrition, like chefs or something like that. So I feel like just learning different, like I don't know the word, like just different ways to help me become successful whenever that time do come. And I feel
Eh,
like it's a lot of ways that you can do that. So
No doubt about it. And being, obviously in your shoes, being drafted high, I will say this: even if you don't get the opportunity to play this year, make sure that you find yourself a routine because at some point you are going to play. You know what I mean? So you don't want to be stepping into the opportunity, you know, steps behind. So find your routine right now. Like you said, get into your nutritionist right now because now that you're in the league, I don't know how Atlanta is, but most teams don't be on top of you like they are in college. Like you got to come get your treatment, Michael. You got to come get
yeah,
you got to come get in the pool, Mike. Whatever it may be. That's not going to be the case in the league because not like now you're going to be in a room full of grown men that have families, that have things that they got to do. So trainers can't come to them and be like, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that." Like the hell with you. So for you, when you step into that room, you got to find your process, your routine that's going to help you be successful. Because I was in the game for 13 years, and I've seen a lot of guys come and go at from a high level, from a high institution. But when they get in the league, they get lost. If you want to stick in this league, don't get lost, man. Find your way. No matter how long it may take you, find your way.
No question.
appreciate that for sure.
And speaking of that, I got one in regards to how do you look at Kirk Cousins? Do you look at him as a mentor, competition, or both?
I look at him as a teammate. Somebody I'm gonna be able to learn from. I don't really look at him as a mentor. I don't feel like he have to be a mentor to me. I feel like for him, like he got a family to feed. He got things that he want to achieve. Just like me. So at the same time, I don't feel like he responsible for helping bring me along. So I don't really look at him as a mentor. But as far as the whole competition thing, it's always a competition. You always competing each and every
Amen.
day. But I don't. Yeah, but like my biggest competitor is myself. I'm competing against myself. I'm trying to be better each and every day. So I'm not looking at the next man like, oh, he doing like, trying to outbeat him. Because I know the talents that I have, within me. So I'm just gonna go in it, just trying to beat myself every day. Because I know that I got what it takes. Whenever that time comes, if it's not right away, I know that I'm gonna be ready because I'm gonna put in that work to make sure that I put myself in that spot. So
Well
And
said. I like that.
he said something so key. It's a
Yeah.
competition every day. Every day
Every
you step in that building is competition.
yeah.
Because it's like college, every year in the recruiting process, they're looking for somebody to replace you. It's the
Mhm.
same way in the league, but they're looking for somebody to replace your ass every week. Am I lying, Mac?
No question. In the words of Mike Tomlin, the NFL is a everyday you prove yourself league. Your resume means nothing in the NFL. Like every day you step foot in this building, even on your off days, you're trying to prove yourself because you got the next man who trying to keep you behind him from being a starter, or you got somebody who trying to get your job if you a starter. So every day, boy, rent is due.
What's up?
You know, that's what we strive for. You know what I'm saying? For all of us in this call right here on this episode, we all from Florida, so we think differently. You know what I mean? We got a different drive when it comes to competing, and we all had aspirations of playing the National Football League, right? And Mike, you're getting ready to fulfill that aspiration, that dream. So with that being said, just be mindful how blessed you are, because I would say, I ain't gonna throw this out, and you guys let me know. My first dream was to play in the NFL.
Mine too.
I achieved. I don't know. Was that your first dream also?
For sure. Definitely.
Think about how blessed that is.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it. I've been retired for quite some time. You know, Pat P is closer to the end of his career. It goes fast.
Yes, sir.
It goes super fast. So every day you're in the building, my guy, prove to the organization, man, y'all should have drafted me higher. I should have been off the board before 8. You know what I mean? And that's the mindset you have. And that's what the great ones have. And that's why they're considered great, because it's a sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pat P, future Hall of Famer, he had to sacrifice something. You know what I'm talking about? Just to devote everything he had to be the best player he had to be. And one thing I know about quarterbacks, I remember when I played out in Arizona in 2009 with Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. I used to think I was getting to work early to get me a workout, get some treatment.
Man.
I used to walk in there about 5:45 a.m. He already in there with coffee, watching tape. I'm like, what time did he get here? Like, bruh, like, but that's the mindset that the great ones have, especially when you play quarterback. You know, you got to be one of the first ones in the building when the last one's out. And that's a lot of sacrificing you have to do during the season. But with sacrifice comes great results.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I mean? And you have that type of head on your shoulders. And I know great things is going to follow you. I got 2 more before we get to superlatives. With Raheem now being the head coach in Atlanta, he's getting a second chance as a head coach, you know, especially as a minority. You don't really see that a lot in the National Football League, especially in the city of Atlanta. When you talk about, you know, the diversity in Atlanta, you were Raheem's first pick. So you always go down in history when you talk about Raheem being the head coach in Atlanta. But how special is that for you now that you think about the entire ordeal surrounding Raheem Morris and you being his first pick ever as a head coach for Atlanta?
Yeah, man, it was real special. You know, it just showed that he believed in me. You know, and obviously, you know, man, it's a lot of it that came into play. You know, but for me to be in this position, you know, I'm just super blessed. And, you know, like you speaking about, you know, the minorities. You know, and it's not many. You know, man, it's a blessing for him as well. You know, to be in that position. You know, I know he put in a lot of work to be in that position, and man, I can't wait to play for him because I don't know if you know him, but
yeah, I know.
You know,
Raheem. A cool story about Raheem. This how life comes at you full circle. I played in the Senior Bowl in 2005. So he was on the South team. He was with Tampa. So Raheem was the assistant defensive back coach under Mike Tomlin. And he coached me during the Senior Bowl, so I know Raheem. I know what type of guy he is, man. So I'm ecstatic for him. But yeah, I know
man,
Raheem.
Cool dude, man. He gonna bring energy to the whole facility, you know, to the whole organization, man. And man, I feel like it's definitely gonna be big time, and I feel like it's definitely gonna be a lot of changes, you know, in Atlanta. You know, I can't wait to be a part of it.
No question. Last one, Pat P. We transition to superlatives.
Let's do it.
One thing I would to hear from you, and maybe there's some people watching this episode that might need some type of insight of how to get through adversity. I don't know if there's another collegiate player that I know that was drafted high as you that's faced the adversity you face when it comes to injuries. You blew out your shoulder, you blew out both knees, you missed a lot of time, and you still found a way. what kept you afloat? Because football is a physical game, and we go through injuries, we go through surgeries, you go through moments where you might have to sit out, but you sat out substantial amount of time in different occasions and still found a way. Like how were you able to do that, Mike?
Man, I'll just say my faith. I always leaned on my faith. Trust that God had a plan for me. And I had family and teammates. Friends. That was always in my corner. Helping lift me up. Especially when those days get hard. Especially like rehab and stuff like that. It gets tough. Sometimes it hurt. But just having them people in your corner pushing you. And always give you that little encouragement that you need to get through it. And another thing was my little brothers. When I think about my why, I always say my little brothers, they my why. They the reason I do everything. I want to set that example as a big brother. Just show them the ropes. Want to be that role model for them. And I always think about it like how would I look as a big brother if I got hit with adversity and I just quit. Because they gonna have adversity in their life. Adversity hit everybody. You never know when it's gonna come. But for them, I know they can look up to me and be like my big brother. He been through a lot too, and he was able to get through it. So just let them know that they can too.
Did you ever think about quitting and maybe trying something else, or you were always headstrong about I'm gonna find a way and I'm gonna make it work?
Yeah, no, I ain't never think about quitting. That never went across my mind. Like my parents, they wouldn't even let us quit. Like growing up, anything. Like you started, you gotta finish it. So I wasn't gonna quit. So
yeah, so that's a Florida boy for sure.
Well, one thing I like, the letter that you sent out to all the organizations right before the draft, Pat, he talked about in that letter. I don't know word for word. I can't remember word for word, but I remember you said y'all can look at all the X-rays and this and that to kind of look at your bone structure, but I want y'all to examine my heart.
Ooh,
sure.
That's what he said. And he said, I want y'all to examine my heart. Don't worry about the X-rays and what my bone structure looking like. Y'all examine my heart. No one else got what I got in my chest. And when I read that, I was like,
that's deep right there.
You can't coach that.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
I had said it was cool. I don't mind all the MRIs and X-rays, but it's gonna be an EKG that determine who I am, but like that's real, because at the end of the day, man, everybody go through stuff, and for me, I know that, all the stuff I've been through, not everybody could walk in my shoes, and go through what I've been through and come out, where I came out, so, I put a lot of, pride into the man I became, throughout those trials of adversity and stuff like that, so, man, it's crazy. Y'all both just rubbed y'all ear at the same time.
Now you saw that?
But I seen that. But nah, yeah, man. Yeah, but for sure, like I'm just saying though, like man, I got heart. I'm gonna keep going no matter what. Till the wheels fall off. I have to. I don't know what it's gonna take for me to stop.
Hey, well, they need that energy in Atlanta. Boy, they need that. No question. They'll put a statue outside of Mercedes-Benz, boy, if you can find a way to give them, to keep the fans smiling and winning ball games, man, because they need that type of energy. And when you got that type of heart, man, everyone else going to follow. And the thing I said about you throughout this pre-draft process, I said, one thing I know about the game of football, winning is contagious. It becomes a habit. It's no surprise the same people always win because it's a habit. I said, this man won at Indiana. Now, if you can win at Indiana,
you went anywhere.
You disrespect Indiana. No, Indiana. I ain't no knock, but come on, like we all were pretty decent recruits coming out. None of us thought about going to Indiana. You know what I mean? That was not the first option. And for you, Michael, it wasn't your first option either. I did my research.
Yeah, I was going to Tennessee.
You were going to Tennessee. Yeah, in Tennessee, tried to do the okie doke. They wish they probably would have kept everything, but of course. So nobody went to Indiana. This man won at Indiana. And then when he went to Washington, what people do not understand, they forget, Washington was in the bottom of the barrel in the Pac-12 before Penix got there.
Yes.
And you brought life into the program. The last 2 years, that was not the same Washington that we saw before you got there. So, I mean, this man won at Indiana. He went to Washington, won at Washington. And then everyone said, well, he had three high level wide receivers to throw the football to. I said, no question he did. But what people are not understanding too is those guys were thinking about transferring before Penix got there because it wasn't going good.
Right.
It wasn't going good. Like they were good players, but they weren't the type of players they became catching passes from Michael Penix. Great quarterbacks make other guys around them look better than what they've shown. We just saw that in Houston with C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, a bunch of names that no one really thought of when you talk about being pass catchers of the football. And then also to my last thing, I talk ball all the time, Mike. You know that. You caught me in Vegas. We had a good conversation. I said, why y'all trying to penalize Michael Penix for having high-level wide receivers catching his passes when y'all didn't do that Joe Burrow?
Right.
Be like that, man.
I don't know if there's another quarterback that had what Joe Burrow had around him. Y'all ain't trying to penalize him? Hey, you LSU guy. Tell me to shut up when I'm lying.
No. You ain't lying. It's just that's a story for another day.
I'm just saying. I'm talking my talk. Like they talking about J.J. McCarthy and all these Bo Nix and all these other guys and Drake May.
I'm with you.
Turn the tape on, man.
I'm with you.
You should get drafted for what you've done and also your potential.
Yep.
The last 2 years, this man stood up in the paint and delivered. Put Washington Huskies on the map as a national contender. Became super relevant. Super relevant. You got to go back to Napoleon Kaufman when they was in the Rose Bowl those days. When you talk about
Right.
Steve Ettman and people like that, way before your time, Mike. I'm showing my age now. But
I know.
yeah, you got to know because you play for the organization. Of course, I know ball now. Hey, Penix, I know ball now. I know ball. But winning is a habit. It becomes contagious. Not just in sports, but in life as well. The same people always be successful. It becomes who they are. So if you can win at Indiana, you transition that to Washington, man, Atlanta, just buckle down and keep building, because the future going to be bright. Whenever it's time ready to go, I'm going to have what number you wearing? 9?
Man, we in the works, man. We in the works. I'm trying to get that 9. I got to be in that 9, though. Got to.
I heard what your nickname is, too.
Yeah, man, I've been since high school.
Tech 9. That's the nickname, Pat P. Tech 9, no question. Okay, yeah, I like that. So before we let you go, we're going to transition to the superlative part of our show. We're going to hit you with rapid fire questions. We want your honest, unbiased answer. I got one first. First one for you right here. This is something I've been wanting to ask for a long time. I never seen you without a do-rag until you got drafted. I was surprised you didn't have a do-rag. Pat P, I ain't never seen a man without a do-rag. I said he got to have the best waves ever created because every time I see Penix, he got a do-rag on. But the draft night, you didn't have a do-rag on. The waves were doing what they're supposed to be doing. So my first question for you, Penix, is, number one, will the do-rag follow you to Atlanta during games? And which color are you going to wear? You got a red one on now. Oh, so you're going red do-rag.
Red and black, man.
Yeah, he got it with a do-rag coming back down to the south.
Like, yeah, man. For me, it was like, when I first cut my hair, like I ain't have no waves. I started to grow it out right away again because like I never really had a haircut. I always had long hair, growing up, But when I cut it, and I was like, I'm gonna keep the waves going. I'm gonna keep the hair going. Like I was wearing my do-rag because I ain't had no waves yet. I ain't finna walk around with just, you know what I'm saying? I got to put the waves in my head before I go out to walking around. So at first I'm like, I got do-rag on. I get home, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to be brushing. But I had do-rag on because I ain't had no waves yet. And when I got waves, I was like, all right. Like, at that point, everybody like, oh, he always wear do-rag. So then I just started trolling. All right, I'm going to keep do-rag on. You ain't never going to see my hair, but I knew I
ain't never see you without a do-rag until draft night, Pat P. I was surprised, but I said, he ain't got a do-rag on.
That's
I don't
crazy,
be on that much no more now, though. You just don't see me out right now. So
yeah.
Gotcha.
Most of the time I see you on the football field, but when you have one on, you always going to have one on when you're playing ball, when you're throwing touchdown.
Yeah,
you sure. Always have one.
Always under the helmet,
Yeah, for sure.
Your favorite thing to do when you're not playing football?
I like to fish. I'm a little country.
Really?
I be fishing all the time. Yeah.
So what type of fish you like to do? Bass fishing, crappie fishing, catfish?
When I get to Atlanta, I'm gonna have to move back to that. That's what I started off at. But then I started getting into the salt water. So I was going like goofers and snappers and stuff like that. So
My
Good old
guy.
freshwater.
Hey, Penix, you gonna have to link with Pat. Pat love fishing.
Hey,
For real.
that's why I said fishing.
Yeah, we
Hey,
both.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you got to link with Pat. We both live in the A. You talking about fishing? No question.
For sure.
yes, sir.
Definitely. Got to.
All
Got
right,
to.
I got one for you. Your favorite wings? Are you like? What's your favorite style of wings? You know, some people like lemon pepper. Some people like plain barbecue, sweet, whatever the case may be. And what do you like? Are you a flats guy or a drums guy?
Uh, I had this like honey hot type of wing before. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
man.
where I got it from. It was like a
Yeah.
honey hot. Yeah. I like that. I like that honey hot, but I don't care flat or I don't care which one it is.
Okay.
I don't really care.
Hey, when you get down here, you gotta try this. They have like this garlic honey flavor. Bussin'.
Garlic honey. Bet.
From
Yes,
where?
sir.
What spot, Pat?
Wings 101.
Wings
All
101.
right.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you got a lot of you got JJ Christopher's. You got a lot of wing spots in the A, man. You can definitely indulge
for
in.
sure.
They got to show you love. So you know what I mean. It's going to be your city sooner than later. Last question for you. Last question for you. I want to get on the board with you, even though we ain't got no board, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario in the game. I want to test your football intellect, Pat P. All right, third and 9. Let's say third and goal. The ball is on the 9-yard line,
What's the quarter?
right? It's full quarter. Need a touchdown.
Okay.
All right. So tell me what play you drawing up. Give me the personnel. I'm gonna tell you what me and Pat P gonna be in, because most of the time, most defenses, not most, but at least 60% gonna be in a quarters type style
No
of play.
doubt about it.
Right? Personnel, we in nickel. We in nickel. So you got 4 D linemen, 2 backers, a nickel corner. 4 guys in the secondary.
Quarter halves. We're gonna be in some
Yeah.
type of quarter though.
So we not quarter half. We're gonna play straight quarters. So both corners inside quarters, both safeties inside quarters as well, right?
Okay.
So what you drawing up to try to get into the paint?
Man, I'll draw up. So let's go. I'll motion to a 3x1. I want to get in a 3x1 in that look.
That's why I want to go
But,
quarter halves, because that's what everybody want to get into, Matt. But go ahead.
I want to get into that 3x1 because I'm gonna run like a little throughout or like almost like a double post, but like you that low, so it'll be like a skinny route, for
Oh,
real.
is that number 1 running that?
Yeah,
Number 3 and
I'm
number
send that on
2.
the motion guy. Nah, I'm gonna send that the motion guy gonna run the skinny. He gonna be out. He gonna motion the number 1.
Oh, okay.
He gonna take the safety away. I'm gonna motion him because when I motion with the corner, he gonna have to bump out.
He gonna have to bump
By
out.
that
Yep.
time, yeah. So I'm gonna make him play outside leverage. That's really who I'm looking for, But we did that a lot. We did that like so we did it either like the double post and the wheel in the red zone. We did like the throughout, and then we had that skinny with like a little check flat. We did it all type of different ways, but the biggest thing with the quarters, you got to eat up that safety because you got him. He 2-on-1 with somebody, So we gonna try to take him out the picture and be 1-on-1 with the outside guy for real.
Hey, Mac, you said we was in the red zone, right?
Yep.
So here's my thing. This is why I rather play quarter halves, because Michael, in the red zone, what defenses are you looking for in the red zone? For the most part, like your top 2 defenses that you're looking for.
Yeah, so for like you either got a team that want to zero you out, or you gonna have for us we call it like a red 2, and I feel like it's almost just like the quarters basically.
Exactly.
They either some teams double the slot, some teams double the number 1.
Here's why I would run a quarter half in the red zone, just because, like you said, most teams want to, they're thinking that corner, that backside safety is going to, the front side safety is going to get eat up. The backside safety is going to pretty much keep his eye contained on number 1. I'll run a red zone quarter half to where if number 1 gives me an outside release, that's the corners. Like you're taking him now, because if he go outside release, ain't so much he can do. So now that safety, he ain't got to worry about nothing else. Now he can have his eyes just reading completely you. Because like you said, in most defenses in the red zone, most defenses want to run a quarters, some type of man, or zero coverage. If I'm a defense coordinator, I'm always thinking that I don't want to do any doubles. I want to have the most eyes on the quarterback as possible because I'm thinking they already got 3 points. I'm trying to stop them from getting 6 points. So most teams don't run this. And I always brought this to our defense coordinators because we have like these cover twos in the red zone to where if the number ones do outside releases, that's the corners. So why not make it a quarter half to where pack the inside, the middle of the field, because that's where most quarterbacks want to go, high in the middle of the field, or to the front pylons, to where you can cut all of that out now, to where you have a flat defender there, a flat defender on the other side, but you're still packing the middle of the field. That's just
the issue. The issue is that backside safety that's playing half.
That's what I'm saying, though. Where if number one give us an outside release, backside of 3 by 1, exactly. So if he gives us an outside release, he's locked now. So now you're playing man. Only time that the safety will take his eyes off number one if he give us an inside release. But the corner's already in the cover 2. So the slant.
So you know what we used to do in Pittsburgh? What we used to do, because you still got to factor in wherever the back is offset. If the back is offset to the weak side, he can flare to the flat. So my thing, what we used to do is that backside corner, I'm not just going to tell the safety I'm locking. I got to tell that back I'm locking so he can play that running back if he flares.
But that's why the safety have to read the sorry, Mike, we talking ball right now, but that's why the safety is going to have to read the receiver. So if the receiver give the corner outside release, he's done with right now. So now he's getting back to quarterback vision.
Yeah, to the front side, no question. But what I'm saying is that backer that's inside that weak side corner, he gonna have to know it. That back flare, I gotta go get him.
No doubt about it.
Because my corner gone. Yeah, my corner gone. Now you can get an extra eye, extra body from the backside safety who can rob that double post that Mike them trying to run.
Exactly.
And most quarterbacks ain't anticipating. If I see quarter half, I'm anticipating my safety. He gone. So you know what? Let's run one on the go just to kind of get that safety out of there, so I can be mindful of that skinny that's gonna be in the middle of the field. If that safety got any instincts, body position, like I'm going to the half, but I'm coming right down to rob that skinny in the middle of the field.
Because the quarterbacks are always taught to read the safety. So if I give him a fake that I'm going to have, now I'm coming back to quarterback vision. Come on now.
You got him. Yeah. But if his job is to make you think he going to the half and I ain't going to the half, we know, because most offenses, Mike, you know this, in the red zone, they're attacking the middle of the field. Somehow. Right. They're trying to attack the middle of the field. So now we got to play the route. We got to play the percentage, what we probably going to see. And just tell that corner, man, outside release, you playing, you zero, you by yourself. I can't help
cat.
Yeah. On your paycheck, I got to go try to rob this inside, because Mike mentioned, they trying to hit that inside on that skinny or something like that. They trying to put pressure on that front side safety who already got 3 out there by him, out there coming down the 2 teeth, depending on what route they run.
Because the front side safety got two responsibilities. Because if 2 come vertical, that's his guy. If 2 stop, you got to read number 1. You know what I mean? So now he's in the pickle. So that's why go ahead.
That's trip side too. That's a trip side too. Remember, he motioned one out there.
That's what I'm saying. So we can. Yeah. There's so much stuff you can do. You can do trike down there to where you automatically pushing the coverage all the way over there. But I'd rather have that front side corner, at least that safety, showing him help to where he can come back to the middle of the field and have a quarterback.
No question. So show the quarterback what he want to see, but know where you're going. That's why you got to manipulate, Mike. That's why you can't just be doing this. No, sometimes you gonna look over there. I know where I'm going. I just got to move you, because we got to honor that.
You got to,
especially if you got a precise arm. I know I can't be late because he can fit it in there. So I got to honor if he give me this look. I got to go over there, but then he come backside. So
and to go back, Mac, you made a throw in that national championship game, dog. It was just like that, though. I don't know what defense
that was against Texas. That was against the Texas. Yeah,
it was right between the hash. I said, "Oh my God, what a
bro!"
What defense was they in, Mike? Do you remember?
Nah, they was in the quarters, and they was in like a quarters.
BMac?
I'm trying to think. No. They was trying to play. They played like a quarter half. Like I think they went half to the boundary.
Okay.
They went like quarters to the field. But they knew I had my receiver, Rome. He was 1-on-1 out there running a go route. If he was throwing, I was gonna throw it. So that safety, he was playing around like, do I go out there to help Rome? So as soon as I seen him look at Rome, I already knew where I was going. I was like, I'm gonna get back right here and just throw it before he get there.
That was pretty, boy.
If came over, I would have threw the one-on-one. Like,
hey, that was one of the prettiest passes, bro. That's one of those situations as a defensive coach. You come, the player come to the sideline like, man, I don't know what to tell you. As a coach, like,
hey, Mac, that's crazy. You saying that? That's exactly what I said. I said as a safety, I was like, man, coach, he put that one in there, boy.
hey, hats off to him. Great play. Another one too. I think you were playing against Oregon, and this one you showed your arm strength. It was a corner route that you didn't even get a chance to step in. You threw it off your back leg, but it was a dime.
Oh yeah.
Pat Peter, the pocket was collapsing. And he didn't waver. He stayed strong in the pocket, but he couldn't step into the throw. He leaned back and threw a dime on a corner route on a 7 cut. Caught him in stride. Like those are the Pat. Those are the things you look for. Just the natural ability of a passer. Because we, as a defender, those are things that we don't want. Those type passes because when you throw guys open. The anticipatory skills are there. You anticipate very well. We don't want that. We want you to throw guys to where they currently are because that's the only way we can make plays on the ball. But when you throw them open, like, and then you didn't even step into it, I'm like, that boy got it.
Yeah, he dangerous.
That boy. It's a combination of this is a weird combination, but when I see your arm strength and just like your body style, it's almost like a Teddy Bridgewater and a Warren Moon. If them two had a baby, when you talk about you see a Warren Moon. if Teddy Bridgewater and Warren Moon had a baby, it would be Michael Penix. Because Teddy had a unique style. He didn't look like a strong thrower, but he's super accurate. But just the precision with Michael's arm. Say it again. What you say, Mike?
Teddy was my favorite quarterback coming out of high school.
Wow.
He just injured, man. My dog was injured, man.
Hey, I know ball. Who I just said? Teddy Bridgewater and Warren Moon.
Crazy.
They had a baby. You the baby. you the football in football terminology. You feel what I'm saying? In football terminology, man. Yeah. Okay. And those throws right there, that throw with Pat P talk about Texas and the one that I saw against Oregon, I was like, man, that's just a natural ability. You know how some people, when you look at them play a position, it was like, bruh, they were born to play that position. Like, that's it. Like, it's a natural thing. Like, you were born to play quarterback. You were born to play quarterback. You're a leader because your ability to move from one organization to another and didn't miss a beat and everyone kind of gathered around you speaks about that and the way how you make everybody better. Great quarterbacks make other people better. Pat Mahomes, doesn't matter who's catching his passes, they're going to look good. Right? When you look at C.J. Stroud, I love using C.J. Stroud as an example because people talk about, well, look who he had catching the passes. Man, Nico Collins was trying to figure his way out in the league. Noah Brown was on multiple teams. They didn't have no one like that until a great presence came at the quarterback position. Yep. Quarterbacks they touch the football every time. And when they touch the football every time, you can tell if they that guy. Because if they that guy, the people around them going to look like that guy as well.
Yep. That's
what great quarterbacks have. Those are the ones I don't want to play against because they can make an average wide receiver look good. And now we out here chasing for 4 quarters.
Hate them.
No question. But, man, we got caught up in the ball talk, man. It's a pleasure you joining us here, man. 8th overall selection in the first round by the Atlanta Falcons. Raheem Morris, first round selection. Man, great quarterback. Atlanta embrace the man. He's a good guy. He does things right on and off the football field. Show him love. He said he's working on getting that jersey, number 9. Me and Pat P, we're going to have to catch one of them jerseys as well.
Oh, yeah.
Loves fish. He loves chicken wings. He loves do-rag. Man, Penix, Michael, thank you for joining us, man. It's a great show, man. I hope you enjoyed your opportunity to talk ball with us. We enjoyed you as well. The floor is always open for you. You can always come through the neighborhood and kick it with us.
For sure. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you too, my brother.
Yeah, money. Ain't that funny? I got haters. Yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Money. Ain't that that funny, I got haters. Yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Riding around the city, plastic cup of C-Rock. Bigger and I'm blacker, I am on that Chris Rock.